Hello, also in last video we saw how can we install and configure SQL Server reporting services, and for that we followed all these steps. Now in order to create the actual SSRS report, you need to have SQL Server Data Tools or SSDT installed on your machine. Now in this video we are going to see how can we download and install SSDT. So I have mentioned this link in this documentation. So if I click on this link, so over here I get to see the option to download the SSDT. You can download or you can configure this or install this SSDT at the time of Visual Studio installation as well. But we do not need entire Visual Studio. We are just interested in installing SSDT. So I have already downloaded this. So on my local machine on my desktop. So if I go to softwares, so I have copied it already, downloaded it already here. So I will copy this guy and I will go back to my virtual machine and I will move it here. All right. So it's getting copied. Once it's done, basically our installer is ready. Only step which is pending is we have to start the installation. It's pretty simple. But before we start the actual installation, let's go back uh, uh, one step and let's revisit whatever we have configured so far. So if I go back here, this is my actual SSRS reports wherein I can upload my, we'll see that on this particular URL. So let me log in. So Voctez-mgogat, oh, come on, MAGOGAT. So basically whatever report I will create, SSRS report, I can upload that report over here. So this is dummy report I had created. I can delete that. And over here you will get to see the option, upload option. So here you can upload the SSRS report. All right. And another thing is, uh, let me go back to, so if I go here, file, now we can connect to reporting services as well. Uh, it will not show the, let me browse it. Okay, only thing is this user doesn't have access because the service is running. So if I go back, so currently the service is service account. So service is running with this user. So I will cancel it. I will close this guy. I will close the SSMS and I will open the SSMS with different user, with this user. And now I should be able to connect to reporting services database. Not the database, actual reporting services. Should not take this long. Let me close these things. I don't need this now. I'll close this guy as well. Okay. And instead of database engine, I will use reporting services. So this is the server for reporting services and I'm logging it as SQL PRD SSRS. And if I go to services, right? So my reporting services, it is running with SQL PRD SSRS. Okay, that's the reason I was not able to log in with my ID. So now if you can see different options here, different folders. So as and when if I create new jobs or scheduler here, that should appear here. We'll see that part afterwards. I just wanted to show you till this point. I will close this guy and let's start with the installation step. Next. And you get to see three different options: analysis services, reporting services, and integration services. We don't need all these three. We are just interested in reporting services. I will select that and I will click install. Now, this particular step will take a considerable time. So what I will do is I will pause the video, and once the installation is finished, I will resume it. All right, so let me go ahead and pause the video. Okay, so finally the installation is finished. It took considerable time. Maybe my VM doesn't have enough resources, just have 4 gig of RAM and one CPU maybe, but that's okay. So as long as installation is successfully finished, we are fine. So once it's finished, you will get to see this screen. I will close it, and what we'll do, uh, yeah, it's getting recorded. So what we'll do, we'll create a sample report before we close. So once SSDT or SQL Server Development Tool software gets installed, what how can we test that? So just type SSDT here and you will get to see this icon. Okay, just click on that. It will open up a new window. There will be many options you can see, but since we have to create SSRS report, okay, not now, start. Should not take long time. Okay, finally. Okay, now what we can do, file new and project, and we have to create a reporting service project. So there are different options here. We don't have to worry about that. You will find option called reporting services. I will keep everything default. Okay, let me copy this guy as well. And here I will use report server project and I will click OK. This is just a test report I am going to do, so I am keeping everything as default. Don't worry about this naming conventions and all. I will copy this location though, and I will click OK. Okay, now let's connect to database as well. Thing is, I do have a database called HR, but the database is empty. There are no tables I have created. That's okay. Uh, all right, and let me connect. So let me copy this. Okay, let me notepad, and this is where my project is, and this is my server name. All right, and if I connect, as you can see here, I have HR database, but I don't have any tables there. Okay, there are system tables, but there are no tables. In report server, I will have some tables. As I said, it stores the metadata. So can I use this? Uh, report schedule. I'm just checking if I can use any of this table for the reporting. Let's say users. That's fine. Forget about it. I will use HR database itself. And I'll copy this guy. This is needed now. And what I will do, I will go to the report. Forget about the conventions. I'm just creating a dummy report for checking if that SSDT tool is working or not. It is definitely working, but we'll create a sample report, add a new report. Next, I will give this keeping everything default. Click on edit and specify the server. So this was my server and my database is HR. Click on test connection. Okay. And next. And what I will do, since I don't have any specific table, I will pull it from sys.all_objects, let's say. next, and I will keep it tabular, next, finish, finish, perfect. I'm not going to modify anything in this report now. We'll just validate whether it is working or not. We'll keep it raw as it is. I know it will look ugly. If I click on preview, it should display the data if everything is perfect. Okay, so yeah, so basically it has made the connection to my HR database and pulled all those records here. I know it looks ugly, but forget about that right now. Another thing is, so there are now we have created a sample report using SSDT or SQL Server data tools, all right? But now we are going to deploy this. So there are different ways of deploying, but we'll come to that afterwards. But what I will do, let's deploy this with simple way. So I will go back to my report server browser. Okay, now here I will get an upload option. I will click on that, and I had copied this path. So this is where my whatever new project I had created, that project is there. This is my project solution. This is a solution inside that project, and you will whenever you will create that report, it creates the ideal file. All right, there are other files as well. Forget about them. Whenever you want to deploy a report to SQL Server reporting services, you need to deploy ideal file only. So I will select this guy, click OK. It's deploying that. Upload complete. Okay, now if I click here, I should be able to see that exact same record. So whatever I saw in SSDT, same record set, I should be able to see it here. Yeah, it's happening. I can export that. So let's say export that in CSV. Perfect. All right. So we have successfully installed SSDT. We created a sample SSRS report, and we also deployed that report, and we are able to access that report as well from SQL Server reporting services. Now in next section, so what we did so far is we created connection with our HR database, and since we do not have any other database or table, we just use uh, default tables or metadata tables of SQL Server or HR database. Now, for example, it is fine, but in next video, what we are going to do is we are going to actually create some data in our HR database itself. We are going to create 3-4 tables or maybe more than that, and we are going to see the actual reports. But that thing we'll see in the subsequent videos. So thank you for watching this video, and see you in the next video.